Hello everyone, I welcome you to this improvised mini restorative yoga class that I prepared for you in order to give you something to your home for this next Monday, or for this Monday that I'm not going to be around for the regular Monday night class. So some of you already mentioned, like, oh, there's a date missing. It's like, no, it's not missing. I'm really not around. But I do want to give you something to do at home. So this can be it. So I'll try to use as few blocks for this practice, as few props as possible, so that it is really something that you can do at home as well. So maybe you do have proper bolsters and big pillows and stuff like that, but most likely you might not. So we'll just use a chair, we use the floor, the mat, a couple of blankets. So if you have some nice blankets that you can use, some pillows, maybe something that's like a block, or some books that you can stack to get some height at some point. So we'll see. And I'll try to find you poses that we can do in a restorative way without a lot of props and things. So yeah, without further talking, I invite you to take a moment to get all your things and then get back down onto the mat with me and take a moment in a seated position, sitting on either a pillow or a big book, or a block as you might have at home as well. So different options. Just try to elevate your hips over your knees and then just find a moment of resting. Close your eyes. Now take a deep breath in through the nose. And exhale it out through the mouth. Relax. Feel your sit bones heavy on the ground underneath you, on the block, on the pillow, wherever you're sitting. And take a deep breath in and see if you can draw energy from the base of the spine up, traveling all the way up through the spine, out through the crown of the head. And then as you exhale, try to maintain this length and root down again. I'll do that one more time. Draw energy up from the ground through the sit bones into your spine. Deep breath in, rise up tall through the crown of the head. And then as you exhale, maintain that length and root down, ground yourself. Relaxing your shoulders, relaxing your whole body, without losing the uprightness of your posture. And then slowly open your eyes. Take a moment, reach your arms up over your head, palms facing up. Reach up tall. And then as you exhale, turn the palms out and swing your arms down again. Bring the backs of your hands at the base of your spine, on your sacrum. Take a deep breath here. And then as you exhale, round. And bring your hands forward and back to the side. Find length as you inhale and reach your arms up. Flip the palms out to the outside and then slowly swim it back down. Point the thumbs down, palms facing back now. And then bring the backs of the hands onto your sacrum. Take a deep breath here. And deep breath out. Rounding your spine, slowly releasing your hands. Beautiful. Take the pillow or the block or whatever you have underneath your sit bones away. And then come onto all fours. We're just going to do a real brief moment of movement just to get into our body. And then I give you a couple postures that you can do to relax at home. So come into your tabletop position. Spread your fingers nice and wide and press down through the index knuckle of your hands. And then just start a couple times shifting your weight back and forth. Maybe you adjust the stance of your hands a little bit. Maybe you feel like you want to go a little bit further. And then walk it back to your 90-degree tabletop legs and arms. And then from here we draw a couple circles, 3 circles to be specific, in the direction of the right side, forward and left. Checking in with the wrists, the shoulders, the hips, and then in the other direction, 3 times. Do it as slow and mindful as possible. Nice. And then come back. Tuck your toes behind you. Walk your hands back. And then just flip one wrist around, extending the arm. So the back of the hand comes down, fingers spread. I extend my arm, feel a nice stretch through the back side of my wrist. Shoulders are relaxed, head and neck is relaxed, sit bones are relaxed on my heels. And then peel that one off, place it down, and flip the other palm. Back of the hand facing down, fingers wide, and extend the arm. And just find a beautiful stretch, nothing crazy. And then peel the hand off and step it down. Come to sitting on your tucked toes, so also invite the small toes and especially the pinky toe into the party. And take a brief moment here, take a deep breath in, deep breath out. And then flip yourself onto your feet and bring your feet wider than hip width apart. Just move a little bit around left and right, just checking in with your hips. Opening the hip joint, getting into the ankle joint here, and also the toes. Okay. Find a moment of stillness with your heels down. If heels down is not possible for you, you might want to fold a blanket and put it underneath your heels. And then press your elbows to the inside of your knees, palms together. A counter action, so the knees are pressing into the hands, into the elbows, elbows into the hands. And then take a moment of stillness here. So you're sitting here fairly relaxed if possible. There's a gentle activation in your hands and your knees, but nothing extreme. Just the slightest counter action. A little bit of pressing and pushing. The spine reaches nice and tall with each inhalation. And with each exhalation, ground down through your heels, but maintaining the length. And slowly round your spine, release your hands back to the ground. Maybe you extend the legs, one knee at a time, then one knee, then the other, and straighten it again. Take the whatever support you were using away. Beautiful. And then from here, step one foot forward, the other one back, come into a lunge on your knee. And shift your weight forward, let your hips sink down, and then extend your front leg, sit your hips back with your toes tucked. Spine is nice and long. Option to play around a little bit here with rounding of the spine, and arching of the spine, maybe even adding the reach, the playful reach of the arms as you move up and back. So using a little bit of balancing and strengthening skills here as well. You can do that many more times if you do it alone. For now, because you're going to keep it a little bit shorter, change the legs, and do the same on the other side. So let your hips sink down, and then extend the front leg. Maybe play a little bit with arching the back and rounding the spine. And maybe adding the reach of the arms. Playful, explorative manner. So there's no right or wrong in anything that we do, basically, but also not in yoga. Step back into all fours and sit down onto your heels. There's only what works and what doesn't. So whatever you're doing, do it in a way that feels good for you. Especially in restorative yoga, you really want to be cozy and comfortable. So our first posture that I invite you to take is you bring your knees, the big toes together under your hips. If this is quite intense for you, you might want to put a folded blanket underneath or between your hips and your ankles. You might need two, that's totally fine too. Find what feels good. And then the knees are a little bit wider than hip width. And then I'm going to connect my elbows with my knees. So I really have a contact with my elbows and the knees. I interlace my fingers and I put my head down into that basket that I just created with my hands. I'm looking back to between my legs to my big toes. And I'm supporting a little bit with my forearms, just a little bit, checking in with the head and the neck, how that feels for me. I definitely don't want to feel any tension in my neck, so let's see what you can find to make this work. So this is one variation. You can stay here if you're cozy and comfortable. Just take a couple breaths here. Another option to prop this pose could be books or a block or something, and something to elevate or get a little bit of space. Fill a little bit of space between your thighs and your belly to really create this rounding of the spine. So here again, either hands down here, do that with the head, or maybe you want to try like a child's pose here. So you have your arms behind you, palms facing up, shoulders super relaxed. And you have this beautiful single curve all the way through the spine. This primary curve of the spine that you were born with when you first came to this earth. And wherever you feel most comfortable, stay there. Allow yourself to find stillness. Allow yourself to let the breath flow naturally. But if you feel the urge of exploring the capacity of your breathing, then by all means, please do so. So it might feel really good to take super, super deep breaths and feeling the whole back body expand as you fill your lungs with air. And then how you can sink in deeper, not only physically, but energetically and emotionally into the pose. In restorative yoga, the most important thing is to calm down, to slow down, to arrive, to turn inwards. And this pose, the pose with the elbows and the knees connected, is called sometimes turtle's pose. And for me, this is one that I prefer doing most of the times in a yoga class instead of child's pose. Because child's pose gets me, I don't know, gets me tensed up, gets me anxious, gets me irritated. So I use this because it gives me more space in the belly, gives me more space to breathe. But then I have times where I feel child's pose is really, really relaxing too. Just not for as long. So you really want to feel ease. You want to be able to let go. You want to be able to stay in this pose for 10, 20 minutes, maybe even 30 minutes. And this pose for me is very soothing when I'm anxious and when I have, when I start developing some sort of depression and anxiety. So this always gives me a sense of that I'm nourished, that I'm held, that I'm safe. So I often use the mantra, it's okay, or everything is okay, or yeah, just something that is giving me back the confidence that everything's fine. Everything's fine the way it is. Good. You could stay here for many minutes longer, but for now I'm going to take you out. So take a moment to come back. You may keep your eyes closed if you have had them closed, and take all your props and things away, and just find a moment either just sitting back and sitting on your heels, and your hands on your lap, upright spine, keeping the eyes closed and just noticing the effect. If you feel that you want to change your seat, you can also come into cross-legged seated position to take that moment to reflect. Just notice how you feel in your body. Notice how you feel energetically. And maybe also emotionally, if there is some things that come up. So this next pose that we're going to do is a forward fold, but a little bit less intense. So for this one, you could find maybe a chair. Chair is probably the easiest. For most of you, it's probably going to be a chair. And I'll show you other variations too without the chair in case you are flexible enough to take it. So either a pillow or a folded blanket underneath your hips can help you elevate your hips so that you can tilt the pelvis forward slightly, so that you're not in a rounded lower back. So you want to find this lift here. And then from this place, you can find your chair, like your legs are out wide, either straight, or maybe you bring them to some sort of butterfly pose. Is also an option. Targeting a little bit different muscles. And then just relax your head onto the chair. Your arms can just rest here. Find a way that feels good. To turn your head to the side. And the spine can be around here eventually, but there should be no tension. So this is one option. Another option could be without the chair. And just simply finding this wide-legged seated position. Maybe you have blocks or books or whatever that you can stack in front of you. Maybe a pillow, maybe blankets. There are so many things that you can use. Maybe you have a big pillow, and then just folding forward in a way that supports you. So you want to find a support that lets you go to your healthy limit, to your limit where you can actually stay a little bit longer. And then arms are just super relaxed. In an ideal case, I would have something for my forehead as well, maybe another block or something. Maybe I can stack it like this. And then so that I can rest my forehead as well. So I really want to be able to relax everything and not having to hold on to anything. So I really want to fully relax. So I could place my forehead down, arms relaxed on the ground. As you settle in the pose, take a deep breath in through the nose, filling your whole body with air. And then exhale, letting go, relax, and ease into the pose. You want to stay here for at least 5 minutes, better 10 minutes, even better 20 minutes or 30. Allow yourself to dive deep into your being. And then the Restorative Yoga Class, we start moving from the sympathetic nervous system into the parasympathetic nervous system, the system that is here to restore our body, to relax, to nurture, to rest, to relax. So moving away from this fight or flight mode that most of us are always in, all day long, most of the time. We want to allow our body, give our body space to restore. And as we're holding postures in restorative yoga pose, but fully passive, fully supported, we can surrender. We're surrendering. We give the power back to our body as we simply allow ourselves to be, to not having to do anything anymore. Trusting that the body knows what it has to do. And you might also notice that in these poses that we're holding still and we're not doing anything, we're just being. There is a big tendency, especially if you're a beginner, that your mind starts to go crazy and there's thoughts like running through your mind and swirling and creating storms and all kinds of things. And there might be this tendency to tense up and trying to push those thoughts away because we think we need to calm down and we're not allowed to think. But at this very beginning of the practice, it's normal because our being is not used to just be anymore, that the body is not doing anything unless we're asleep. That's another state of being eventually. So here we're fully awake and fully conscious, but completely relaxed and completely still. So of course we start noticing the thoughts. There's not more thoughts now than there were before, but now we start hearing them. And that's a powerful thing as well, to taking time to listen to our thoughts, taking time to acknowledge those thoughts, to start analyzing them, to start sorting them a little bit, because some of those thoughts are very, very useful thoughts. Other thoughts are not so useful thoughts, and they can go in. So we're just trying to become aware of them now. We're not doing anything with them quite yet, but allow those thoughts to be there. It's totally fine, it's totally cool, and don't worry, whatever they tell you, like, don't worry, don't be attached. They're just telling you stories. Slowly start thinking of moving out of the pose again. Finding your way up into a seated position, push the blocks and the supports and the chairs and stuff away. And find a moment with your eyes closed in a seated position. Spine is upright, sit bones rooted, crown is lifted, heart is buoyant, and the breath is flowing freely and naturally. Just checking in with how you're feeling physically, how you're feeling energetically, and how you feel emotionally. And pull the corners of your mouth up towards the ears. Give yourself a smile. Don't be so serious. And then open your eyes. And let's find a way to prop up this next pose. So this next pose is going to be a gentle back bend, heart opener. Nothing too crazy. So we'll see. I would invite you to find a setup where you can have something that's a little bit higher for the head than the thing that you're propping for the shoulder blades. So sometimes if I like to use blocks like this. So I have one low and then one high. And that feels really nice. I could put a blanket over this. So if you have books or something, or I don't know what you got. Maybe get creative. So you could do it like this. And that's just placing the shoulder blades onto the book or the block, and then placing the other block that's a little bit more elevated, a little bit higher up. Might be that you have just blankets and pillows, so then you could see if you can fold them in like a little bit different heights. So maybe 2 blanket rolls and then another pillow on top, and see how that feels. And we don't need a big back bend, so this is already super good. So I have a light arch in my back. My chest is nice and open. I can bring my palms facing upwards to the side, at the side of my body. And then I have different options. So either I bring the toes, the soles of my feet together, and I allow my knees to move out to the side. I can prop them with, again, pillows or blocks or whatever you find, so that you can fully relax them down, so that you don't have to hold on to them anymore. If this is not an option for you tonight, if it's not available or you don't have the props, you can bring the feet a little bit wider than hip width, fairly close to your buttock, and then just let your knees drop into the side. So see how I'm not out here? I find this is more, I still have to hold on a little bit. When I have them really close, I can really just let them sink together a little bit away from me, and that gives me a nice little length here as well, and a relaxing sensation. And of course, option number 3 is just extending the legs, letting the toes fall out to the side, and just be here in a supported Shavasana position with a light back bend and a supported head. And then whenever you settle, take a deep breath in through the nose again, filling your whole body with air. Finding a small moment maybe of tension of the whole body. And then as you exhale, relax all the muscles, relax your whole being. Sink in deeper and deeper and deeper into the ground. Let your breath flow naturally again. No need to control here. If you feel an impulse to take a deep breath, then of course, please do that. But there's no need to control or forcing the breath. As we put our body into different shapes, we open the body. We open the physical body, we open the energetical body, we open pathways for the breath and the life force to move through us. So just be trusting and faithful that your body knows what it has to do without you having to be in control. And the same counts for your soul. So maybe try to be a little bit less controlling of what is going on in your life in the next couple of days, and see how that opens new doors and how new things can come into your life when you don't try to control every inch of it. And of course, as in every posture, like if you've noticed that as you lay here, that your lower back starts binging or your shoulders start feeling a little bit wacky, then please adapt your posture, move around. Try to move as little as possible, but for God's sake, move your body if it doesn't feel fully comfortable anymore. If you start noticing that your body is tensing up at some point, try to send the breath there, try to relax. Try to send a thought signal there that it can relax. And if this doesn't help, then change the posture. Maybe you can translate that into your everyday life as well. And take a moment to find your way back up into a seated position, to take a moment with your eyes closed. And relax. Checking in. How do you feel physically? Do you notice any new built tension somewhere? Do you feel that your body is more and more relaxed? Do you notice that your posture is changing between each and every time you sit upright in between poses? How do you feel energetically? Do you feel more awake and alive? Do you feel more calm and sleepy? How do these postures make you feel? And then emotionally, is there something that is coming up with these poses? Is there something coming up with this practice? Is there something coming up because you just allow yourself to be still and actually listen to to yourself and to your soul's message. And slowly open your eyes again. And this last pose, you can go and find a wall, or if maybe you don't have a wall available that is free for you, a door could do, but then make sure that this door is locked. Or a chair can do. So you're going to do something that's called legs up the wall. So one option is to put the legs up a chair. So just bring the chair as close as you need, so that you can really relax your calves on the chair. You really don't want to having to hold on to the legs at all. You want to be able to really fully relax them. And then here again, similar idea, Shavasana arms, Shavasana upper body. You can snuggle your shoulder blades underneath your back to turn the palms facing open. So maybe this is one option for you. And if you choose the wall, you would go very close to a wall, come sideways, and then lay down, bring your feet up, and place your feet against the wall. Allow your toes to relax, and find an angle that you can really relax and you don't need to hold on to any legs anymore. You might also need a belt. Maybe if you notice that your legs are going away, take a belt and wrap it around your calves or your thighs, just to prevent your legs from falling apart. And then here again, arms out to the side, palms facing up, shoulder blades underneath the back, head nice and relaxed. Maybe look one time to the left side, one time to the right side. And stay here for another 5 to 10 minutes, 20 minutes if you do it on your own eventually. Take a deep breath in through the nose. Exhale it out through the mouth, let it go. If you do this practice with yourself, maybe at some point you just do one pose because you don't have that much time, just before bed, and you feel like you want to put some music on, of course you can do that. I encourage you to play music that has no words, or if there is words, that they're more like mantra kind of words. Nothing that gets your mind too much into thinking again. So you notice that you have enough thinking going on already. So, but maybe a mantra that keeps you in your body. And you can use any mantra also without music, of course. So I like to use the mantra, here I am. Here I am. Sometimes I use the mantra, me, here, now. Maybe you choose a mantra, what should we say? I am okay, or I really, really love myself. I choose a mantra that is sounding and ringing true in your heart. So please don't go and repeat any mantra, any positive affirmation if your whole being is going no, this is bullshit, no, that's not right, no, that's bullshit, no, that's not true. So you really want to feel whatever you're saying, you want to feel it at least to a certain degree. And there's different practices that we can do here as well. I'm not going to go into this, but be aware of positive affirmation mantras if they don't ring true to your heart. So maybe if you have a mantra, positive mantra that you would love to feel, but you don't yet, then I offer you to try out this variation. So let's say you truly want to love yourself, or to be loved, to feel loved, but you, for whatever reason, you don't feel like that yet. You could make a suggestion. You could say, wouldn't it be nice if I would love myself? And then see what that does to you. You could say, wouldn't it be nice if I would feel loved by everybody around me? You could say, wouldn't it be nice if I just felt love more? And then just see what that does with you. And over time, you will notice that this will come closer and closer to reality and how you're actually feeling. And then you can then turn it into, I am love, or I love myself truly, or I feel loved by the people around me, or whatever that is. So you're just like reinforcing it. And then slowly thinking, coming back, turn over to the side, maybe stay in a sideways laying fetus position for a moment, and then finding your way up to a seated position again. Again, just checking in with yourself, how you're feeling physically, how you're feeling energetically, and last but not least, how you're feeling emotionally right now. Again, pulling your corners of the mouth up towards the ears, giving yourself a smile, and see what this action of your mouth, that pulling back of the corner of your mouth, is doing to your mood, to your energy, maybe even to your thoughts. So there is psychological evidence that when we fake a smile, actually, like really big smile, there's trigger points somewhere that are being pushed, and though they send a chemical or a signal into the body that makes it actually feeling happy in that very moment, or content. So this can really beat depression and anxiety at times, and I've tried it and it really fucking works. I choose often not to, because I just want to feel sad for the moment. But whenever I really need to pull myself out, I do that. Or you can even put a pencil in your mouth and then bite on it with your lips, and I will do the same thing. You might notice that there's a shiver going through your body as you do that. I like to think of that as the universal presence, just like energy flowing through me in that very moment, and I feel good. So thank you very much for practicing. I hope you're feeling good. I hope you're feeling relaxed and restored. I would absolutely love if you would share your experience with me and how that felt, if that was easy to join along, or if it was difficult, if the poses were feeling good, or if they felt fucked up. So please let me know, and I see you again next week. Namaste. Thank you guys so much.